speech on visual aids. Calm Down Kits are an effective, positive teaching and parenting tool for reducing a child's aggression and encouraging positive behavior. We all have several ways to calm down, whether it's a stress ball, whether it's a breathing activity. Children, they deal with stress a little bit differently than we do, and they need to know that there's a way or a place to go so that they can calm down when those negative feelings start building up. The reason this is important to me is because I'm a second-year student at Pine Tech in the Early Childhood Development Program, and I also created a Calm Down Kit last semester. So anxiety. We all have stresses and anxiety that we deal with on a daily basis. Children don't exactly deal with stress and anxiety the same way that we might, and they don't handle it as well as we might. And to have a space or something that they can go to that they can depend on while they're calm is what we can teach them to get those positive behaviors going. So in this speech, I'm going to talk about what a Calm Down Kit is, how and when to use it, and also the importance of a Calm Down Kit. Calm Down Kits can be created at home, in the classroom. They can be big, they can be small, they can have many items, they can have 1 or 2 items. And this is done typically in a preschool. When I was a preschool teacher, we had a Calm Down corner. And in that Calm Down corner, we had several items that children can go to and pick up, but we taught the children to use those while they were calm, not while they were having a meltdown, and not while they were angry. They were able to go to this corner so they know what to use in the event that they start feeling these different emotions that they don't quite understand how to deal with yet. So the Calm Down Kit that I created has many comfort items in it. The first is a blanket, and this has a stuffed animal attached to it, picked up at a local Walmart. Another item that I put in there is called a worry eater. What the child can do with the worry eater is there's little pieces of paper in here, and there's a pen, and they can jot down what they're feeling and how to deal with it, and then they can enclose it in this worry eater. It's a little stuffed animal, and it eats their worries, essentially. There is a small mirror in here. We were told that this is important so a child can visually see how they're feeling, why they're feeling that way, what they look like, and try to deal with that. And they can use that even when they're in a good mood too. Kind of fun. They can make silly faces. Another piece or item in my Calm Down Kit is a little board that's swirly with Mancala pieces on it, and they can just sit there and they can work on their breath while utilizing this. There's also a little book in here that has to do with making friends and different emotions, and it has a little flip up book. And then there's a little puzzle in here, so they can work on a puzzle also while utilizing their breath. There's a little board I created. It's a breathing activity that I found on Pinterest. And Positive Parenting Connection, they use something similar to this. Their Calm Down Kit is significantly smaller than the one that I created, but I kind of got this from there, this idea. I put a quote on there that says it's okay to not be okay, because it's true. It's okay to not be okay, and children need to understand that. There's also this little calm down bottle. Created several of these. They can look at it. There's lots of glitter in here. There's little objects that they can just sit there and just look at that stress ball. We've all seen these. Sit there and squeeze it. And then this other activity I created is a Montessori activity. And what it is, so it's real items. So it's wood, and then there's little nails in here. Of course, this would have to be monitored, supervised, of course. And then little rubber bands, so they can try to stretch and use their fine motor skills to stretch the rubber band and make different shapes, different designs on the nail board. So this is a Calm Down Kit. Many of them are going to look different. Maybe ones at home are going to look different, but this is typically what one looks like. You have comfort items, and you have different calm down techniques to use. So now that we talked about that, when and how do we use it? So as I said before, We want to make sure that a child is using this Calm Down Kit and knowing where to go while they are still calm and not freaking out or having that meltdown. So they know where to go, where to find it, how to use these items while they're still in a good mood. We want to make sure too, if we make one at home, that we're checking the toys regularly that would be in here, making sure that they're not broken in any way that would hurt or harm a child. So now that we've talked about that, now I'm going to talk about the importance of it. I think that this is important because a child needs to know that they have a space that they can go to and that they have different items that they can use at their disposal and when they feel that they need to use them. Also, a key piece is knowing that there is no time limit a child can spend with that space or with that item. They can use it whenever they please, whether they're in a good mood or bad mood. There's no time limit. It's just, we want to make sure that they have enough time to regain their composure, to go back to an activity with the group or back, doing something with an adult or whatever it is. Just regain that composure to join back. So we've talked about what a Calm Down Kit is, how and when we use it, and the importance of it. And in conclusion, I feel like children need to know that their feelings are valid. They need to know that there are positive and appropriate ways to deal with their stresses and anxieties that they might face, whether it's a daily, an interference in the daily routine, or something new that came up, or a child taking a toy from them. They have this space that they can go to, they can use it, and it encourages that positive behavior that we so want for our children. Thank you.